Shotgun with Charlie.
Riding shotgun refers to the practice of sitting next to the driver in a moving vehicle. The term riding shotgun came around after the time of the stagecoach, when somebody used to sit next to the driver holding a shotgun, in case they ran into bandits. My name is Charlie Cook, and I drive a lot. I like to talk to people while I'm driving, so I interview people in my car while I'm driving. Welcome to Riding Shotgun with Charlie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Today I am in Birmingham, Alabama, and I am with, it's probably its tallest resident.
No, not quite.
I'm with Beth Alcazar from Peacefiers. Oh, jeez.
Yep, that's it. That's all. That's it. Peacefiers.
Peacefiers and Pacifiers.
We're sticking with it.
Right.
Pacifiers and Peacemakers, same thing.
I know,
same thing,
right?
Whatever.
Pacifiers and Peacemakers. She's also
gosh.
an author with the USCCA. She's an instructor with the USCCA, and she is also a DC project. In between, she's married and got 4 kids.
No, 3 and a dog. But yeah, you can count them.
Dog.
You can count them as 4. You can count them as the 4th.
All right. Well, listen, before we kick things off, we are going to apply some Lead Slingers hand sanitizer. You can find them. This is really watery. You can. I told you it was. I tell everyone it's watery, but they don't believe me.
Well, I guess your car got a little extra there. Oh yes,
my car
is luxurious.
It says do not drink. It's a little more potent than.
There, it's all the way up my arms now, so if I put my arm somewhere...
Awesome.
It's official now.
It's official.
Shake hands.
And I've got a bottle for Beth to take of Lead Slingers at the end.
Perfect.
Thank you for all these gifts. This is awesome.
Welcome.
This is 7 minutes of material before we even start.
Wow. I like to be different.
That's
but yeah,
awesome.
See, now I'm cozy. I'm really riding shotgun.
Oof.
They probably did have little, lap blankets when they were riding coach, because it could have been cold.
It could have been.
If it were.
I was on 65 just after I entered Alabama, and I saw this place that had 2 stagecoaches. And then there was a super long road that ran parallel to the highway, and I'm like, I want to turn off the road and go get my picture in front of those real stagecoaches. But the exit was like 6 miles away. I'm like,
forget it.
All right, let's talk about some.
And we're going towards Birmingham, right?
We're going towards, yes, you're going to have to give me some directions, right?
So out of here, we're going to take a right.
We're going to take a right.
Yeah. Luckily, the traffic's probably not too bad on a Sunday morning.
It should be fine.
You just have to fight the churchgoers and the donut people.
The donut?
Yeah. But you got to make your donut run.
They're out for donuts, or they look like donuts?
Maybe both. You got to do your donut run on Sunday morning for Sunday school, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they might be on a donut run. We're heading to Sunday school right now.
All right. All right, let's talk about you and gun stuff and all the stuff that you do. I was thinking about all the things you do, and as I said at the beginning, you've got a long list of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
How did you get into gun stuff? Let's start there. Yeah,
that's an interesting story. It was never an intentional thing. It was kind of one of those, serendipity, happy accidents, and a lot of different things falling into place. So roughly 2 decades ago, I started working for a gentleman who was in the shooting, hunting, outdoor industry. That was his profession. That was his job. He is a prolific writer for the industry, and was
who?
John Phillips.
John
a lot of people know him as Bubba.
Bubba, all right.
But he's been writing for, how many more years even beyond that? I don't know, maybe 40 plus, maybe.
Wow. Yeah,
maybe, if not more. But he obviously knew the industry really well, but I was more interested in the process. Oh, green light.
Okay, finally.
You might have to fight this truck though, because you're gonna have to get in the far right lane.
Doesn't seem to be much.
That's the southern version of yours. So, okay, anyway. So I started working for John, Bubba, and I was more interested in learning about writing, editing, the public relations, marketing side, and just the behind the scenes, real world experience, if you will. Because I already had gone to school, I already had my degree, but I was interested in maybe a little change, maybe something different. And he obviously was so saturated in the industry, that's literally all we did. It was interviewing hunters, interviewing gun people, interviewing anglers, going to SHOT Show, going to writers conferences with OWAA and Outdoor Writer Association of America, or CIOPA, the Southeastern Outdoor Writers Association, or Press Association. I guess it's a W and a P. I messed those up.
I don't know.
It's CIOA now. I've changed it. I've officially made a change for the whole organization. So I got to know a lot of industry professionals that way. In fact, way back in the day, I interviewed Doug Koenig about handgun hunting.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he was kind of a hero of mine, and it was interesting that I saw him at SHOT Show, I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I was like, oh my gosh, I interviewed you like 20 years ago. He didn't remember. Fangirl stuff doesn't work for me. I just look like a crazy person. Anime eyes, they get real big.
Right.
Look kind of scary. So, anyway.
I met Doug Koenig at the SHOT Show the first time I went. Well, I was there. Right, he was just hanging out. He had a Smith & Wesson shirt on at the Smith & Wesson booth, and it was, I don't know, early in the morning, early-ish, and I wanted to get my picture with Julie Golub.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I love Julie.
Would you mind taking a picture of us? He's like, no, go ahead. I'm like, wait, you're Doug Koenig?
Oh my gosh,
he's like,
that's awesome. See, he's so chill. And he's a great guy, super great. All of the industry people are great, and honestly, I think that's what really spoke to me.
Yeah.
I got to know so many of these folks, and they were really genuine and considerate, and not that stereotype that a lot of people present for those who do hunt or fish or those who are involved with firearms.
Absolutely.
So it kind of was able to set a really good foundation for me on the kinds of people in this gun community, if you will.
All right, are we going to be driving a while?
We're going to be a few miles down the road before we're going to turn.
So we're
A few miles, yeah. We're getting into Homewood area, so. Anyway, try to make the long story short. I didn't really think that was going to be my profession as far as the gun industry, but I did still want to keep up with the writing, editing stuff, so I freelanced for years. Did a lot of work with Mossy Oak and their website, but I have a really good friend who has worked for Realtree, and every once in a while I would help her out and kind of just ghostwrite things. I mean, it was a freelance stuff. I was teaching at the time, so this was just, side fun.
Right.
And ultimately, though, the job I was working decided to terminate my position when I was 37 weeks pregnant. Ooh. And 2 weeks away from a C-section.
Yikes. That's not really a good time to mess with a woman's livelihood.
Not at all. And I carried our family's insurance too, so it was a very horrible, horrible time for our family. Absolutely frightening. And the day I found out, literally the day they told me, I reached out to Kevin Michalowski, who is our editor and creative director at USCCA. I had known him for, again, however many years that we'd networked and done all these events together, and he had asked me about writing for Concealed Carry Magazine. I thought, I don't have anything to offer. I'm a mom with a gun. I mean, boring. What is that? But at that moment, I went ahead and reached out. I didn't tell him what was going on. I'm just like, hey, remember we talked about writing? So I got my first assignment, not my first assignment ever, but the first I had with basically working with USCCA that day. And they enjoyed it, even though I felt like it wasn't a entertaining perspective. The mom with a gun perspective really hit home. So that kind of is what launched everything for me, and everything just started to just drill down and focus on firearms and how I could offer a perspective that might be a little different from the norm that you would find. Or there were definitely way more women involved in the industry at that point in time, but still it wasn't so much, you look at me, tall, weird, goofy, blonde, and go, oh yeah, she's a firearms instructor, no doubt.
Right. So it screams out loud.
So it was really fun to be able to kind of dive in that way.
Yeah, you're completely different.
And
then
everything just grew out of that. I pursued, basically I went after USCCA. I loved the educational side. I was so excited about what they were doing with training, and I felt I had something to offer with my background and degrees in education too. I'm like, here's what I can do for you guys. And they said, okay. So you are going to be getting on, let's exit, but this next one, I think
this
so.
next exit.
I think so.
280?
Probably.
Or the next one.
If you went this way, we'd go to the Birmingham Zoo or Botanical Gardens, which are both really nice.
We'll take the next
But probably
exit.
Closed.
I've got a great zoo joke.
Oh, a zoo joke?
Yes,
okay.
a zoo joke. During all of this pandemic, I ended up going to a zoo, and they had one animal. It was a dog.
What?
It was a Shih Tzu.
No. That's good. That's pretty good. Yes, this exit.
All right.
This is the one. And this should take us back into the heart of Birmingham.
All right.
Which I think is still like of the top 5 per capita most dangerous cities in America.
Great.
Yeah, cool.
So I had to heading into the the most per capita, one of the most per capita dangerous places.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I usually carry on my ankle, but I'm not carrying on my ankle because
you got your cool socks. I saw
have
those.
my Vincent Van Gogh Starry Starry Night socks.
Hashtag tactical socks.
I know, right?
I have donut socks today because I mentioned already.
I didn't see any socks.
Well, yeah, they're hiding in there, but they're donuts. But again, because it's Sunday and it's donut
Sunday,
day.
it's church day, you get a donut.
Donut, yeah.
That's too funny.
Yes. So you had to alter your carry location then, hey?
Yes. I did go back to my crossbreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the crossbreed.
Yeah.
Here's what I love about the crossbreed. It's the leather side.
Yep.
Conforms to your body.
Yes.
And I've got I like to say I have a little extra retention device.
Got it. Yeah.
And I got the Dunlap that goes right over the back of the gun, which is great.
Right. All these technical terms.
Dunlaps over the gun.
All over. Oh yeah, I love crossbreed. Such good people too. I've got several crossbreed holsters that I use regularly. Today I am doing my norm though. I have 2 guns.
I'm so jealous.
So I've got my appendix holster and I've got my backup gun. So
wow.
My P365 is tucked nice and snug, and I'm using a stealth gear today. And then I've got my XDS, my tried and true, in a 511 bag. So that's my backup. I love that gun. My bug.
So
we might, let's see.
We might
do this exit. Yeah, this might bring us next to Sloss Furnace over there, which is so cool.
All right.
One of my favorite places in Birmingham. Yeah, this is the exit, I think.
All right.
I don't drive down here very often anymore. There's like a little farmer's market, and it's called Pepper Place because of Dr. Pepper.
There we go.
Yeah.
Do they have donuts?
They don't have donuts, I don't think, and it's probably not open on the Sunday anyway, but you're going to turn left.
All right.
And then I'm going to get completely lost in here, so don't ask me anything. In fact, I might get out my GPS for help. I don't know where we are.
You might want to get out that 365.
Oh, I've got that handy for sure.
So
And you'll turn right.
Oh, I was down here this morning. I made a little video for my GRPC video.
Oh, cool.
So,
and you made that here?
A little bit of it, yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned mine in, I think, last week. Yeah. I hate that it's not in person.
They're due Friday, and I'm like, well, I got a week. I'll figure something out. But we'll talk about that on camera.
Snuck up when you did it. Yeah, there's Pepper Place. Right up here.
There we go. Dr. Pepper Bottling Co.
Pretty cool, right? I actually used to work in this area for a little while.
Since we can do this stuff, we're going to go get a selfie in front of the Dr. Pepper sign.
Oh, okay.
What do you think of that?
We can do that.
We can do anything.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
All right, so let's get back to gun stuff. So you really wanted to get with the USCCA.
Yes.
And you did.
I did.
Because you liked all the educational stuff. You were working as a teacher, teaching classes, and then you got in touch with Kevin Michalowski.
Yeah, and I basically pursued it relentlessly. Every time I would come up with an idea, what about a blog? And that's where Pacifiers and Peacemakers had really come from. I wanted to do this blog, and they were interested in it, so they're like, well, yeah, we'll produce it on our website. I'm like, okay, that sounds great.
Right.
And I was like, what about some videos maybe on topics that would be really important for women? And they were totally on board with that, and that kind of eventually worked into our women's curriculum. So I had an opportunity to put that together specifically with the mindset of, women usually get into guns for a very specific reason, self-defense. We're still the more victimized gender, so it's a very, very serious reason, but you also don't want to take the fun away from it, because shooting can be really fun. So you have to kind of balance that when you're training women and getting them involved, so that it's not so scary that they don't want to do it or they feel they can't, but also that, you know, they continue to have that respect for the firearm, and most of them do. Oh, it's green again. Look at that. Most of them do have respect for the gun, so they do really well with training, because they, especially those new folks with the blank slate, you know, they're just so soaking up everything that you could share with them, and it's such a joy that I still, even though I teach teachers who teach teachers, I know that sounds weird, right? As a training counselor, I get to teach the instructors who go on to teach, and I can also teach the training counselors who teach the instructors who train the people. But I still go back to teach the end user class over and over and over again. They give me joy for such different reasons, you know.
It is. It's with the classes that I teach, my deal is this: I just want to be at the top of the funnel, get a bunch of people into it, turn them on to it, let them know that we're not. Even though we might be lunatics, we're not all those kinds of lunatics that they...
Those kinds.
Right. We're not the folks the anti-gun folks say that we are. And have them get up and going. And I always tell people, I say, look, I just teach people the basics and the fundamentals. That's it. If you want to learn how to shoot an AR as you hang upside down from a helicopter,
oh yes, by all means,
sign me up too, because that sounds awesome.
Yes, if you want to go on to ninja school, do it. Absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely.
But getting people on the right path is such a cool feeling. So, you know, kudos to all the folks out there that are doing that. You don't have to be teaching the teachers who teach the teachers to make such a real difference with, especially now, there's so many people wanting to learn, and a lot of them are scared, you know, so they're buying guns because they're very unsure. But that gives us a good opportunity, like you said, to kind of say, these are the kind of people that we are.
We're regular folks.
And we're just like you, and we're every part of the spectrum that you can imagine. There's not this stereotype so much anymore. We've broken through that, you know.
Right. You are absolutely not a an overweight middle-aged white guy like me.
Wow. Yes, I'm glad for that.
We all are.
Beth Alcazar, not an overweight middle-aged white guy.
Right.
If we've learned anything.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, Chipotle. I did not know that was there. Oh, and there's your Starbucks, of course.
Stabbies. I'm not a Starbucks guy.
Yeah. I don't drink coffee, so.
What?
No.
No, sir.
No.
How do you not drink coffee?
I don't like it. It's bitter. It's gross.
That's why you put sugar in it.
You know, that's the thing, though. People say it's a picky eater. I think I just have a very sensitive palate, because everything is strong to me. Everything. Like, if you use a little bit of a spice, that's all I taste.
Really?
So if coffee is already strong and it's definitely bitter, it's just, for me, it's overwhelming. Gotcha. Children's Hospital, this is where we took my son when he swallowed a quarter. But this is an excellent hospital. Wow. And Birmingham has UAB as well. So University of Alabama at Birmingham, the hospital is very well known for a lot of sports rehab. But Children's Hospital is also bringing in a lot of really great physicians and doctors. And my oldest also had surgery there, where she has a plate and a rod in her ankle. So we've definitely visited children's.
That could be hereditary. You are a little accident prone, aren't you?
Kind of. Sort of. I might be known to do some weird things that wouldn't be necessarily normal. Oh, and here's the baseball stadium. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
We've actually been to a game there. It's really pretty.
That's awesome.
And we've got to figure out how to get on the interstate. So hang on, I forget. It looks like we're close, but I don't know.
It looks like the highway's just past the trees.
I can see it, but how do you get up there?
I can see the highway from here. I don't know.
Speaking of highways and how to get there, once at a SHOT Show in Louisiana, back in the day where we hopped around, the guy was trying to give us directions because we were so lost. There was John Phillips and my friend Stephanie from Realtree and me. We're just trying to get to our hotel. He's like, you got to go over the bridge to get under the bridge. And we were like, What? Oh my gosh. Thank God for these things. We didn't have these things back then. That's how old I am.
Oh, stop it.
Wow. Oh, we don't want to go to Huntsville, though.
Okay.
No, you're going to Huntsville. Cool. We'll turn around.
All right.
Yay.
Always.
Why not? Let's go to Huntsville. Rocket City. You know, the Saturn V was built here in Alabama.
Oh, just after.
Isn't that awesome?
Just after I crossed the border, there on 65, there is a rocket
Yes.
And I did go over and get my picture from there. And,
good.
Yeah.
Okay, pay attention. Maybe there's a way to get out of this mess. Let's see if there's a way to get back to...
Exit only.
See if there's a Montgomery. Is there Montgomery up there? Look, all the way on the...
Atlanta, Georgia.
What does it say? Go there.
God.
Yeah, we'll go there. We can go there.
Tuscaloosa, there we go. I got old eyes.
Tuscaloosa. We can go Tuscaloosa. That would get us back to where we want to go.
All right.
And there's Birmingham. Yay, we got it.
Birmingham.
I was trying to figure out how to go on a road that would give you a little bit of a... That's it. That's the whole thing.
That's it. All right.
Rather small. But at Christmas time, that building in the middle, I forget, is that South Trust? I forget. They do like red and green in the windows where one of them looks like a wreath or a tree or something. Yeah. That's kind of one of those little fun traditions, I suppose.
That is cool. Now, you've got a lot of stuff going on. Besides the USCCA, you do have a book that you've written, and I love this.
I have a copy for you.
No.
Yes, this is for you. Oh, you're going to go right here, by the way.
Oh, great.
I realized that you have been so awesome to purchase these for friends. I'm like, I don't think you have one. So I'm going to sign this for you, and this will be your book. This is Women's Handgun Self-Defense Fundamentals.
This is the best.
And this is actually the second edition. And what I'm really proud of with this particular edition is...
That intimidating look on the cover?
Yes! That was... My friend Kelly designed this edition. So it was designed by a woman. Like all the artwork and all the design work. Yeah. It was edited by a woman. So my other dear friend, Carla, was the one who went through and with a fine-tooth comb. Yeah. And she made some of the changes that we were not so happy with the first time around. Because a couple things got, through. Sure. That we were like, what? Just
who
little things. Right. Embarrassing, right? And then, of course, it was written by me. So it's just a sense of pride to know that just a bunch of really awesome, talented women who know guns and care about people learning about guns were responsible for this. And then the USCCA put it together. So
that is too cool.
That will be for you, and I will sign it, but not now. I'll get car sick.
Do not want that.
There's a first time for everything, Charlie.
So I get all these wonderful gifts, and she threw up in my car.
Yes.
This is great.
It would just be Twizzler bits, though. Just kidding. I didn't even eat them yet. Do you want Twizzlers?
Yeah, you want to crack them out?
It's just not a car trip without them.
Now, have you seen... This is completely ridiculous.
It's going to be loud.
It's fine. My kids and I drove out to the Midwest earlier this summer, and...
They're cold.
I like that. And we packed some Twizzlers. Now, my daughter packed the right... I didn't get the right Twizzlers on the way out. I got the strawberry Twizzlers. No. That was the peel and tear ones. Yeah. She's like, yeah, man, these are horrible.
Don't do that. Yep.
So then on the way back from Illinois to Massachusetts, we had to get the regular Twizzlers. Have you seen the other flavors they have?
I've seen that there's like an orange creamsicle. Have you seen that?
I think I might have had that.
And I haven't been a very big fan of the flavors. I am so traditionalist, I think, when it comes to my Twizzlers.
You like cream soda Dr. Pepper.
I know, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I will tell you this. I was at a meeting for something, and somebody brought in some of the chocolate Hershey's Twizzlers. Do not buy those. They're bad.
Sounds gross.
Yeah.
Okay. This wants us to completely turn around and not go this way.
All right.
This is why you can't listen to Beth Alcazar when it comes to directions. We could go to Tuscaloosa, then we're going to end up in an Alabama football game. And that would be bad, because I'm an Auburn fan.
Okay. All right.
Oh, we're in Ensley. This is even better. We are really taking the tour you don't want to go on. The tour you do not want to go on.
Right.
So turn left, and I guess get back on where we were, and maybe they'll put us back where we need to go.
Well, I shouldn't say this, but my carry gun's a J-frame, 5-shot revolver, and I did bring my Glock with me. Yes.
We're good.
So, I didn't want to overdo it and carry 2 guns.
Oh, come on. I love to have 2 guns.
How many knives you carry?
Knives?
Yeah.
1.
1 knife?
Just 1.
What?
I am not good with pokey sticks.
Gotcha.
But I have a really pretty one from Giant Mouse.
Yeah?
Oh, I love this knife. It is so gorgeous, but I'm not a pokey stick girl.
Gotcha.
For some reason, if you drop a knife in Montgomery, it will find me here and cut me. It's just amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm really, really just, hey, you talked about accidents and clumsiness. It really comes through with blades. It really does.
That's not good.
And fire. I have set myself on fire before.
Fire?
Yeah. So that was not a pleasant experience. I think that was because I was getting ready and I had on one of those terry cloth robes, and I had, used hairspray and things like that, and I guess it kind of settled into the fabric of the robe.
Oh my God.
And I got too close to a candle, and whoosh, I mean, it was instantaneous. I think it only burned off that outside layer of that hairspray stuff, so it wasn't bad, but it did freak me out big time.
God, that's crazy.
Oh, look, a gun show.
This weekend.
Let's go. I'll show up. Oh yeah, it's next weekend, isn't it? Today's the 23rd.
Next weekend, right?
I can't keep up with the days anymore, Charlie.
That's all right.
I just don't know.
All right. I have, I'm pretty
yes.
sure
That's what I missed.
the south part.
No, I missed the exit to 65, which is right here. That's what I was looking for, but we got to talking.
Gotcha.
My fault. We're good now. We're good.
I have, in my wallet, I have a riding shotgun with Charlie credit card knife that I will gladly give you.
Oh, cool.
It's a credit card knife.
Those are nice.
They are pretty cool. And
But
they
you
are
can't take
wicked
those through
sharp. You
TSA.
cannot. I've had a few friends
Yeah, they
lose
forgot.
them. Yeah, so.
Yeah, gotta be super careful.
Gotta be super careful.
I also carry, where is it? Have you seen these things?
No.
This is really cool. This is from Munio, and it's one of those self-defense keychains, if you will.
Okay.
But I mean, you always have it with you, so I've gotten one of these for like a lot of friends and family members. It's not like having, those little cat claw things. It's not like a blade thing, but that is really sturdy. So it can be used at pressure points. I mean, you can imagine what damage you could do if you put your mind to it. Montgomery.
65
Montgomery.
south. Okay.
But what's also cool is if you hold it right, guess what? Whack.
Right.
So what neat, easy, simple, I think.
She had like 12 rings on there too.
I know, I didn't, that's kind of, my husband hates my key ring, and I understand it now. It's a little excessive, I guess. I don't know where all those extras came from, but it is kind of cool that if I needed to, I've got
just
this,
biff somebody.
And then I can get to my firearm if I needed to.
There you go. See, the mind is the weapon, everything else is a tool.
It's a tool, absolutely. That's my only other knife, and that doesn't really count.
Although I did take a knife fighting class with someone.
Did you? I need to.
I did, and his technique was this. There were two things. One is he called it the lift and separate.
Okay.
The lift and separate is you take a knife, you jab it between someone's legs, and you lift and separate the testicles. And he says if you go from scrotum to anus or anus to scrotum, it really doesn't make a difference.
Oh, that's intense.
Yeah. The other thing he did was this. He said, make a fist. Make a fist with one hand. Make a like a cup with the other hand, and put the two together. So you do this, right? And he says, okay, now in the hand with a fist, put a knife, and then in this hand, take the back of someone's head. And he says,
oh my gosh,
how much of the tip of the knife do I have to put in your eye before you'll stop doing stuff? That's from Michael de Bethencourt. I love Michael de Bethencourt.
My goodness. Yep.
Yeah, how much of the tip of the knife do I have to put in your eye before you stop doing things?
How about 0?
Exactly.
That would be one of those psychological ends to a threat.
Yeah.
Where you physically didn't really have to do anything to the person, but psychologically they're realizing I could be hurt really, really badly.
Yeah.
And they might. Well, that's why there's such a debate with defensive gun usage, or our DGUs. By the way, let me point out, there's Vulcan. Do you see him? Do you see our statue right there?
Oh, yes.
He is the largest of its kind in the world, I believe, and he used to have a torch with a light that would be green if there were no fatalities on the interstates, and it would glow red if there were. Now they removed that, but you can go up there, and it's such a gorgeous view of Birmingham. But anyway, that's Vulcan, and he is definitely a well-known character here as being, I don't know, he overlooks. The whole iron and steel thing is really why he's here, obviously. So
Gotcha.
anyway, so back to the DGUs, defensive gun usage. Just, I mean, there's stats that show upwards of 2 million DGUs annually. But I mean, how hard is it to quote unquote prove that the presence of a gun stopped that threat, whatever it was? But that's amazing to me, because that's what I would be hopeful for. That just go ahead, underestimate me. That'll be fun, right? Because, yeah, I'm just a girl.
Right.
But just the presence of the firearm and the fact that you have the knowledge and know-how of using that firearm would be enough in a lot of cases, unless they are just seriously out to get you personally. Most of these criminals, they want it to be easy. They want to take the stuff, or they want to get what they want, and they want out without recognition or altercation.
You got it. Another thing I learned from Michael Beckborn, he says bad guys like to go to shootings. They don't like to go to gunfights.
Oh. Yeah.
So,
see, that gave me chills. I'm such a word nerd, and that just totally gave me chills. That's a power, truth bomb.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And this, I mean, we learned this in elementary school when people are like, don't, stand up to a bully.
Right.
It's the same. It's the same mentality.
Yeah.
That you stand up to a bully and say, listen, I'm not gonna. I call it having the Popeye moment when you say, you know what? That's all I can stand. I can't stand no more.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's how. So.
Oh, and you can get off at the exit for Hoover, and we'll go through Hoover and kind of make our grand circle tour. Oh my gosh, that just brought me back to my Disney days. Let me point out a few of my favorite plants.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I worked for Disney. I did. I am a Disney girl. I grew up with Disney as kind of the only vacation destination my family and I would go to.
Gotcha.
I'm an only child, so it was me, mom, and dad, and even all the way through college, that was our trip together. And of course, and once I was married and had kids, of course, we all went together as a family. So it has a lot of precious. Not this one. I'll show you close. He started working at the Disney store in the Galleria, River Chase Galleria, which is the big mall we're going to pass. And I just always had this idea I would end up at Disney.
Really?
I didn't know exactly what I would do, but it was just kind of one of those bucket list things. So I legit had the opportunity to transfer my time from the Disney store to Disney World. And what was interesting, I'd been teaching. That was after college. During college, I worked for Disney. And then after college, I worked for Disney. I had my first teaching job out of college. I taught high school English and still worked at Disney store. Transferred my time to Orlando, was a Jungle Cruise skipper. So I worked in Adventureland Liberty Square as a attractions hostess. I made more money as a Jungle Cruise skipper than a high school English teacher.
I find that easy to believe.
It's kind of sad. It's sad. I'm sorry, teachers everywhere. My heart goes out to you because, Jungle Cruise skipper. Pointing out my favorite plants.
With a karate hand.
Well, you can only have an open hand or like 2 fingers. Disney didn't like the 1 finger point because some cultures, of course, would find that to be rude. So it still sticks today that all open hand point or 2 finger point. But it's just like trigger finger discipline.
It is.
You'll find that you use it on your hair dryer, on the glue
electric
guns.
drill,
See the drill?
Windex.
Yes. See?
Absolutely.
So it's the same thing. Once it sticks, it's there. Good times. Good times.
Good stuff. Oh my gosh. Of course. Do I want a Twizzler? I love them.
I'm glad you like them. There's a lot of folks. I go to headquarters for USCCA, which is in Wisconsin. I go up there a lot, and there's this huge debate. Apparently, there's I don't know if maybe it's as big as Auburn, Alabama down here, like SEC college football, but there's either Red Vines or Twizzlers, and you're in one camp or the other. And there's so many Red Vine folks up there, and I'm like, ooh, Red Vines.
Red Vines are so completely disgusting. We like these.
Twizzler, you watching? You watching?
How can I get Twizzler to sponsor the Stagecoach?
Oh my gosh. It's so funny, too, because I was on one of these fun podcasts, and one of the questions I was asked was, what would be something unusual in your range bag? And of course, Twizzlers came to mind, but what happened to be in my range bag at the time were gummy frogs. I love like those. It's one of my favorites, and that usually ends up going with me for training. It's almost as predictable as tactical socks for me. So tactical socks, Twizzlers, or gummy frogs. And this will be our exit right here, the 252, I think.
All right.
I'm so glad you wore tactical socks though.
I can't believe that Crystal Burgers are still open.
Right?
So, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I lived in Nashville for 6 months. And I was friends with this girl that called, she's like, oh hell, you don't go to, they don't call Crystal Burgers, they're called Kevorkian Burgers.
Oh my gosh.
So when I came up to Nashville the other day, I'm like, I wonder if Crystal is still around. And they are.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
We've got one right up here that will pass.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I did not stop and eat the Kevorkian burger. I did go to the Waffle House twice, though. Twice. All right, what other stuff are you involved in? You have so much stuff going on. You get all the USCCA stuff. You're teaching the teachers. You teach the people.
Yep.
You've got your books. You've got the Pacifiers and Peacemakers blogs.
Yeah, you'll go this way towards Hoover.
All right. You're also a DC project gal, right?
Yes, I am currently the state director here in Alabama. So that was kind of born out of the group, of kind of our core group that have been going for the last 5 years to DC. Di reached out and wanted someone to kind of take the lead for the state. So instead of just being more of a national thing, we could actually grow chapters and help folks here locally so that we could go to our local governments and rather than just traveling to DC and talking with them, really get into the weeds here and make sure that we have relationships with
the people at the state level.
Yeah, the people at the state level. So it's been really great. That DC project has really inspired me to do a lot of things I never would have imagined I would do.
Yeah.
One of those things would be going to talk to those representatives first and foremost. I mean, I never thought that that's even how it worked. It just, who am I? I'm nobody. They don't want to listen to me.
Right.
And I got to testify for permitless carry here in the state before committee, and that was so, I like to public speak, I like to present, but that was like, oh my gosh, this is intense, because half the people weren't listening. They're standing there, they're on their phones, they're ignoring you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that was so awesome though, because we have tried to push permitless or constitutional carry here in Alabama for years now.
You guys don't have that, do you?
No. We have open carry.
Okay.
And we are a shall issue state, which means that
if you
pretty much if you apply, you should get it.
Meet the training requirements, pass a background check, you shall get a concealed carry license.
Yes. And open carry, anybody can open carry without applying for their concealed carry permit, which is weird to me because you can open carry legally in Alabama, which means I could go to the gun store we just passed. I could purchase the gun right there and then. I could have it, load it, and put it on my hip. But the moment I
pull your shirt over.
Or the moment I get in my car.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
Momento.
We've gone back and forth on that.
So because you're in your car, it's considered concealed.
Yes, that we've gone back and forth on that a lot. I know it makes no sense. Anyway, so I was very honored to speak for constitutional carry, permitless carry, and we actually passed it through the committee this time around. So we made progress. Then COVID happened, and we've all just been sitting around twiddling our thumbs.
I'm calling it the virus that shall not be named.
The scamdemic. Yes. Anyway, that's another topic.
Right.
But, so I also, because of DC Project and my involvement with these fantastic women, I was encouraged to join the board of Brock's Gap Training Center, which is the range where I teach. And I've also joined the board of Bama Carry, so I'm the first female to do that.
Nice.
And Bama Carry is the state's no compromise gun rights organization. So we're the largest gun rights organization in the state.
Very cool.
And granted, I'm very thankful that they know I'm super duper busy, but I'm always willing to help and stand up. And in fact, I testified for Bama Carry and DC Project So I was able to write both things down on that piece of paper.
That's
and
awesome.
Speak for both organizations, and also speak for women, because there were a lot of women there, but they were all wearing red shirts because they were with Moms Demand Action.
I've been saying this since I heard Moms Demand Action. I always thought it was a channel on YouPorn. I had no idea. Moms Demand Action. This is what I thought it was. No clue.
There's the Galleria.
There is the Galleria.
It's been a hot spot of, just keep going straight, but
All right.
it's been a hot spot lately for protesting. And there's been several shootings there,
Right.
which is really, seems to be so unusual, because here we are in Hoover. I grew up here, spent most of my life here in this area, and it just seems so strange that where I worked, 6 miles from my parents' house, has been the location of several just altercations where folks made really stupid decisions.
That's
And
nice.
they decided to pull out guns and use them on each other, and folks have died because of that, and we lost several innocent lives, including a young boy,
Wow.
due to that. And it's heartbreaking. So there's been a lot of protesting right here in this area, rather than in Birmingham, which you would think Birmingham was known for, being a location for protest and for
For a long time.
a lot of, we've got letters from a Birmingham jail from Martin Luther King Jr. So Birmingham is on the map as being something known for, I suppose, the civil rights movement, but it just seems strange that now Hoover is, it's just, but
That's crazy.
the Galleria for you, I guess. But we still come here and shop here, and this is one of our normal hangouts right here in this area. One of my favorite Mexican food places is right down the street there, so
Nice.
we don't avoid it. It just, it changes your mindset a little bit.
Perspective, yeah.
It really does. And I don't even want to go to the mall anymore because they've employed vapor dogs, which...
Vapor dogs?
Vapor dogs.
What's a vapor dog?
They are trained...
It's not a new treat, is it?
Yeah. They are trained to sniff out, I guess, gunpowder. So they are trained to find... Yes.
Wow.
So it's really cool that they have these kinds of animals.
Right,
but,
the dogs can learn how to do this.
yeah, but back in the day, it used to just be a no-gun sign. And I would literally not look at it. Like, I can't tell you where the signs are because I won't look at them, so I can justifiably say I didn't see the sign. I really didn't. I've not seen the sign.
Right.
And of course I would carry in the mall. I mean, I'm going to protect myself everywhere I can legally.
Yes.
But once they got these vapor dogs after the last incident at the mall, it's kind of like, what do you do? Because if they come up to you and they alert...
If it's got the signs...
So again, I would not look at the signs. I would want to go in and shop. And if the dog alerted on me and the folks came up to me, are you armed? I mean, what am I going to do? I can't say no.
My line, the line that I teach people if they're pulled over is, officer, if they have to tell the police.
Yes.
Officer, I have a license to carry and I'm currently doing so. How would you like me to proceed?
Exactly. So if I was trying to imagine, what would I do? I mean, I would want to be cooperative because I'm a law-abiding citizen. So I was thinking, man, I guess I would have to basically say what you said. Well, I believe in the right to carry. I am permitted to carry, and I am, legally doing so right now. And I guess they could ask me to leave, and that would be the end of it. I would have to leave. It's private business property. So it's kind of disappointing.
That does stink. All right, I hate to say this. One of the batteries is starting to get a little low.
We're making our way back. So
I
we're
know,
close.
so we need to kind of ramp things up a little bit. So you've got all the USCCA stuff going on, and we'll put links to all of your for the USCCA and for the blog and for everything else. Where do people find the book?
Well, they can get the book through our USCCA store, which is really cool now. We've added a whole bunch more awesome hats and shirts and really cool stuff. So USCCA store, or you can always come to one of my classes and
have her sign it.
Have me sign it.
I was hanging out with my friend Lisa, who I bought a book for Lisa. Lisa bought her first handgun a couple months ago, and so just out of the blue, I'm like, Beth, would you sign it? here's some money, would you send her a book? And so when I said I was coming down to interview Beth Alcazar, she's like, she wrote the book.
I wrote the book.
I said, yes, she did write the book. She's
cool.
like, I am paying attention, Charlie.
That's awesome.
So anyway, so they can get the book at USCCA.
Yeah.
We'll put a link for BAMA-Carey, but we'll obviously put a link for the DC project because I've had...
oh, and you can turn left at this coming traffic light.
Okay.
That'll bring us back around.
Gotcha. I have had many of the DC project ladies in the car.
Yes.
And it always sounds bad for me. This?
No, keep going.
Okay. It always sounds bad for me, or no, bad for them, but good for me.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun though. This is awesome.
Yeah,
turn left there. You kind of forget the cameras are there though. I honestly... I've really just been talking to you and I'm like, oh crap, do I need to look at this camera?
Nope,
Hi!
not at all.
I've been ignoring y'all. I'm really sorry.
That's the beauty of this. It's just two people in a car.
Yep.
And everyone, the audience members are just a fly on the rear view mirror.
I love it. That's awesome.
And that's it. It's two people in a car. It's the easiest thing because it's two people in a car, and that's all we're doing. Just hanging out and yapping it up. What else? How else? We'll put BAMA-Carey. I'm trying to go through this so I can remember when I'm editing this. BAMA-Carey DC Project, USCCA.
Yeah, and Pacifiers and Peacemakers through Facebook really is where I kind of hang out and
we'll put a link to that.
Post things and classes and random stuff.
Cool. All right. Anything else?
That's about it.
That is about it. All right. Well, listen. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the Southern hospitality.
You're welcome.
The road snacks that I've got.
Gotta have road snacks.
The blanket, the pillow, the book, the Twizzlers.
It's been great. It's been real.
It's been awesome.
Yep.
Also, the rest of you guys, please like and share and subscribe to the Riding Shotgun with Charlie on YouTube and on Gunstreamer. You can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, on iHeartRadio, and on Spotify. And do not forget the Self-Defense Radio Network. The SDRN.US is the website. It is all of your pro freedom podcasts in one place. And again, thank you so much for being on the show. And where's the next place we're going to see you? Are we going to see you in DC?
I don't know. Possibly.
In October?
Possibly in October. Yeah, I'm trying to work out my schedule right now to see if that's...
Cool.
Yeah.
I love this about my gun friends. I don't often see them in the same place twice.
Yeah, right? I can't believe this. Very few people have actually come out here to Alabama, so you might be like number 2 that's ever been out to my neck of the woods. Literally.
A lot of people said I'm number 2.
Oh my gosh.
All right, with that,
on that note,
it is time to go. We'll see you guys next time.